And that's what the Bible, that's what God's trying to bring to us. And I know you know the truth, but now you get the details of how we fell away. Because yes, the white man, the nations, they played their role. Go ahead, King. You said it one more time?
The book called Astronomy.
Astronomy. No, I haven't.
It talks about noble Jew.
Right. And I want to share this with you. Because you know you're an Israelite. Right? So that means you know you come from God's people. Now, and noble Drew Ali, what do you teach, like Afrocentrism?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Moorism. That's Moors, right? Well, right.
Negroes is something they gave us. We're Moors.
Well, we're Israelites. The Moor is just a color. We're black. We're Israelite. You're an Israelite. Moor was just something we adopted along the time of us being separated from our true power. That's all that is.
All Moors mean is moreno, right? Like everybody that had the Moor behind it, they were dark-skinned people, right? Moreno means black. So we were Moors. The Israelites were called Moors or blacks, just like now. Right, but remember, to be a Moor, that's not your nationality. That's like being called black. So what we're doing is we're going back to before we were called these names. Right. But yeah, we adopted that name too. We adopted Mexican, Puerto Rican, Native American. We adopted these names. Right? We were going over Mexico was called Mexica before the Spanish got there. Right? So there's a lot of names we adopted, and there's a lot of names that the slave master put on us, like African American. That's not our nationality. Yeah. See, like Puerto Rico, that's one that was adopted by the Spanish, put that on us. Puerto Riches, Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Riches. So these are a lot of these names on here we adopted. There you go. There you go.
But that goes back to the that we are, okay, there it is. We go back to the original statement. Boom. And that's the point. That's the point of this verse though. So I want to read the verse. This is key, because you asked the question, right? What's our nationality? This is the key.
That's right.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So before they took us away from our heritage, what did he do?
Discontinue from thine heritage.
We fell away from it. So we stopped wanting to serve God. And then what we do, we separate ourselves. So God says, if you want to separate yourself, right? Okay, I'm going to step back. I'm going to let your enemy come in and attack you. And when he attacks you, he's not going to be light. Yeah, he's been attacking us hard. And what he did along the way is what? He took away the knowledge of who you are. He ripped you of all your history books. Go to 1 Maccabees 3 and 48. I'm going to show you. They covered. That's a part of the Bible that they took out. Alright, they took this part of the Bible out. If you get you original 1611 King James Version Bible, it's gonna be right in there. Right in that table of contents. So read this.
1 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 48. And lay
The book of the law, wherein the heathen, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen.
So that word heathen means another nation. So nation, they do what?
And sought to take the likeness of their images.
So the heathen, they're not being discontinued from our heritage, right? They're not being discontinued. What they did when they came over us and conquered us and enslaved us, what they did when they overcame us, conquered us and enslaved us, right? They started to make this Bible look like it was a white man's book. And that was the enslavers. And it separated us. Because they made us look like, that's a white man's book. They used that against us in slavery. Why would we want to be connected to that book? But we don't realize that that was the ploy. That was the ploy. That's why we don't know who we are. That's why we don't know our nationality. The ploy was to make the book seem like it's a white man's book. So you can separate yourself and you look for something to identify with. That's why we go to Islam, right? That's why we go to Noble Drew Ali. That's why we go to, what's the other ones out there? Egyptology. That's why we go to be a 5%, because we're looking for a place to belong.
Right.
Because we've been so discontinued from our heritage. But not knowing our heritage has been right in our face the whole time. Grandma would say, come on son, let's go to church on Sunday. Your heritage has been right in your face the whole time. But it's just being misinformed. Right? The information is being dropped to you the wrong way. And now you're learning the truth, according to the Bible, that your enemies, they covered the book. They made it seem like Jesus was white, Matthew was white, Matthew, Mark, Luke was white. And I'm starting off with that to show you that what? They covered it up, which is why you don't know who you are, which is why you don't know where you come from. So the heathens laid open the book of the law and sought to do what?
And sought to paint the likeness of their image.
Of their what?
Of their images.
So they took your face out, right? And they did what? They put their face in there. And then now you searching like, where am I? Who do I belong to? Oh, those guys are dark skinned like me. I belong to them. No, we're not African. So I want to make that separation for you too as well. So I'm going to make that separation before we just get to the main point, which is what? Who are we then? Right, before we get to the main point. So, you get that part, right? So, right, you got that part. So the heathen, they put their images in there, right? And go to Song of Solomon 1:5 real quick, just to show you that the people in the Bible actually are black, right? They taught us not to even read the book, because the book is right there in your face. And some of these Bibles cost what, $5, $10? Mm-hmm. You can get them for $15
yep.
in a Walmart.
That's right.
And in what? It'll tell you this, exactly what this part of the Bible tells you right here. I want you to read that. You got it? Go ahead.
Song of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. I am black.
Solomon said he's what?
I am black.
But you see how in Maccabees, right, it told you that the heathen sought to paint the likeness of their image. So they covered up that without even covering it up. They just taught you, they just made sure that what? We didn't know how to read or write. Or they killed our desire to care about knowledge. Now we care about weed. Now we care about alcohol. Now we care about jumping from woman to woman. Now the woman care about jumping from man to man. We care about all those things. You care about our outward appearance. Now we don't care about seeking out knowledge. We don't care about that no more. We don't care about our spirit. We don't care about where we come from. You see that? They took that care for our heritage out of us. Come on now. See, that's facts. And that's important for us to know that I am what?
I am black, but comely.
You know how in the Ebony magazines, they like to say, my black is beautiful? On all the old BT commercials, be like, my black is beautiful. That used to be a thing, but now we're going to do what? We're going to figure out what happened to us. We're going to figure out what exactly happened to us and how we fell off, right? Because we fell off, we fell far. But it takes us understanding that we discontinued from our heritage. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? How do we know who we are? How do you know where we come from? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So I want you to read that one more time for the brother right here. Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. Because thou servest not?
47.
First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. And laid open the book of the law,
wherein the heathen have sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And they caught us in that trap in the midst of the time period where we didn't want to what? They killed our desire to read. So all the elders that knew the knowledge of where we came from, they murdered them. Then they separated the adults from the kids. So that what? There was no exchange of knowledge being distributed. Yeah, there's no exchange of information being distributed. So that what? We can keep our heritage, our roots, tight and close to us. There was remnants of our, they didn't want that. Because what? They say, come on now. We got power, we can come together. So read where you at. But this is where we fell off. This is where we gave them the ability to have that power to do so. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness.
This is where we messed up. We were serving God, but we stopped serving him with the joy. And it separated us from him. And as that separation happened, there's something that happened to us. But read on.
And with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore, thou shalt serve thine enemies.
So read it from the top again for him.
Because thou serve.
The question you was thinking. Okay, it was capturing your attention. Okay, read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
So this is answering your question at the same time. It's giving you an answer to why we're in the conditions we're in, but it's also answering why we don't know who we are, right? And then it's going to tell you your nationality all in one. It's answering your question all in one. So because we didn't serve the Lord with gladness of heart, what happened?
For the abundance of all things.
Because we don't want to keep God in all our thoughts and seek him for everything that we needed, right? It's like the concurrent thing that leads somebody into the streets, right? Oh, my mom ain't got no money, so man, I need to go get this bread and help her out. But we trusted in the money and not trusting in God. So the mind should have been like, oh man, my mom's struggling, I need to go pray, right? And I need to go pray, I need to go talk to the priest to get an answer instead of worry about the material. But what did we do? We ran to the abundance of things, materials, but we didn't seek out God in the middle of it. So what is that doing? That's separating our minds from God, then which is going to do what? Lead us to separate our knowledge of who we are. Because we did something, and I'm going to mold that. I want you to read where you at. Because this is what happened along the way. With us separating our mind, our conscience of thinking about God, this is what we did. Read.
Psalm chapter 106 and verse 35. But we're mingled among the heathen.
So now we're mingled amongst the who?
The heathen.
So we're mingled among the heathen. Now we live in amongst them. And living amongst them, first starting off with slavery, under their rules, their laws, and his story, right? That's what I say, like say his story. And as we're amongst them, they're giving their version of the story where we come from. And like sheep, like blind people, like dumb people, right? We're just accepting the information. We just accepting like, oh, this is right. This is the good, this is the right, this is the proper information. This is true instead of looking into it. So, but this is why we don't know who we are. Right. You gotta what? Say it again?
You gotta do research.
That's right. We gotta do research. You can't stand alone? I want to give you this one. I want to give this one right here. Go ahead. I want to give this one right here just to solidify it, right? This is what happened to us. Go to Deuteronomy 28 verse. Yeah, 28 and verse right here. 28 verse 66. And the nation is about the rest. 20 verse 68. Get right there. I'm looking for the one where we can forget it. Damn. Read that right there. Yeah, 47. 45. I want to give you this. I was trying to find out one, but
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
So now we at that point where all these curses, you see, we was going through, now we have to go there for our clothes, water, food, shelter, all these different things, right? And because of that, now we struggle. Now we're going through it, but that curse is on us for a reason. So this information is being dropped on you for a reason. Because you knew it, but now you get the details of it. And now God wants you to go on a certain direction, a certain path, once you hear this information. He wants to solidify something in your heart with this information. Read.
Till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
All these curses are on us for a sign. For a sign so that when we're trying to figure out who we are, we're able to read this chapter. And I want you to be able to, when you go home, read Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it goes through all the curses to prove to you, how do you know that you're an Israelite? Chapter 28. And it'll show you and prove you exactly how do you know that you're an Israelite. And you'll be able to see it just off of recollection of memory and history, what you know from what you research just about slavery. All right? Take that in. All right, King. God bless you too. All right? Hey, you out here, brother? You stay out here?
Nah, we down here vacationing.
Oh, vacation?
I leave money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I want you to jump back to where you were originally. Go to John chapter 8 verse 32. Right? Because God wants us to wake up to the knowledge of who we are. It's important that you know who you are, where you come from, what's your nationality, and what's your customs. What's your way of life? How did you used to live before you start calling yourself an American?